Oh boy. Working? Is it you see stuff? Is it let me see here. I'm considering whether or not I should just outright just like hold the phone in my lap like this. I could do that. It's very annoying having to do that, but I can do that. Oh boy. Hello everybody. We're doing another one of these fucking things because I'm absurdly bored today, and I didn't want to listen to a podcast over the game just because I don't know. I don't know what it is. Every now and again, you just need to talk. You just need to say anything. And yes, I realize I could stream from the PS4 to play this game, but I don't like the fucking ginormous overlay that it puts over the game, and the fact that the game audio is so loud that it overpowers the mic. Oh, okay. I almost got hit by that guy. I have to, okay, dash away from him. Woo! Like, I don't like how the PS4's internal streaming software tends to, just loudly overpower your voice whenever you try to do a stream. Oh, fuck. Okay. Gotta run away, man. Gotta run away. Woo! We did it. But yeah, how is everyone doing in the chat? How is everyone doing today? In this on this fine Sunday morning, I'm sitting here in my lovely Kentucky household. I have to work tomorrow, go to the workplace. That's gonna be, whew, that's gonna be something. I feel like I should have titled this stream like enjoying my last day of freedom is what I should have titled it, because today is in fact the last day that I am free, that I am free to spend all my time doing bullshit like this instead of anything that's actually productive. Oh, oh my God! You gotta dash away. You gotta dash away like a Robin Hood type guy. But yeah, the workplace, that's gonna be, oh. I can really criticize capitalism now. I I feel like, wait, I have to turn on the live chat, don't I? So I can see all the messages properly. Well, I have to kill this guy first. Okay. Live chat. Yeah. Okay. Now I can see everything. I wanna play Senran Kaguya Beach Splash, because that game, I really, any of those like big titty anime games always seem really funny. And like, they honestly, some of them have, did that Jew just fucking shoot me? Oh my God. I always end up walking past this guy and then I kill him in the first part. I had to waste a health vial on that. But yeah, like I want to play that game because it, like, I don't know what it is about these big titty anime games that always end up having just like one or two interesting mechanics that make the game worth playing. It's always that. It's always like one or two things that make the game kind of interesting. So I want to check it out. I think I remember playing it at one point too. It was just on like a really shitty, like the computer couldn't even run it properly or something. Oh wow. Health recharged. This game, I don't know why people say just learn the mechanics, bro, and it becomes easy. Because I've been playing literally this same level over and over and over again. Just over and over and over again. I've been playing this same level. Uh, oh my, okay, I dashed away from him, thank God. And a big part of it is just evading the enemies, knowing how to evade the enemies properly. And I'm not the best at that, to be completely honest with you. I'm the type of guy. It says the stream got interrupted. Basically, I I have to waste fucking blood vials now because I had to fix the live stream. But um, basically, what I was saying was, wait, wait a minute. Can you even see? No, you can't see anymore. Okay, fixed it. Oh my fucking God. Because you can't pause in this game. You literally cannot pause. So when the action is still going, you just have to sit there and be like, well, guess I'm gonna deal with getting hit because I have to deal with a fucking problem on my phone. It's the stupidest shit. Why do they have to make it that way? I would love this game if if it just had a fucking pause feature, so that instead of doing things that like smart game developers do, like allowing you to pause, especially in a high action situation in which the game is really fucking difficult. No, no, we're not gonna let you pause. You're just gonna have to sit there and deal with the fact that you've spent all this time playing this level. You've played it over and over and over again, but we're just gonna we're just gonna okay. See, I have to waste blood vials dealing with that shit. Like, I don't understand. Why can't they just do something right? No, I really like this game. I really do. But eventually, when you play the exact same fucking level over and over and over again in the exact same way that you did before, it gets really, really annoying. I gotta tell you, it gets pretty annoying. See, look at these guys. What is he doing? What? Oh my fucking god. Why didn't I just dash away from that guy? See, that's the thing, is that the enemies have all of this power, right? They have all of this power that they can just use to kill you. The thing is that the entire mechanic of the game hinders around the fact that you have to dash away from them. Well, okay, I can see that. The problem is that when you're in the meat of the action right then, right there, you can't, you can't just automatically remember, okay, I gotta dash away from this guy now. Like, it's really annoying to me. It's really annoying to me the way that they have this game set up. Now I'm just looking through the phone to watch the game. Jesus. Jesus. Uh, but yeah, like, because there's a part of me that really loves this game and really loves, what it's doing, how it's set up. Then there's another part of me that just absolutely detests the fucking difficulty where, people say, oh, just dash around the enemies. And it's like, how? How? When there's so many enemies around, the only thing you can do is just run away from them really fast and then wait for them to regroup so you can then turn around and then kill them again. Like, I don't I don't understand why can't I just make a bunch of money, go to a shop, and then buy a better weapon? Because you can go back to the hunter's dream. You can go back to the hunter's dream, and then you can fucking you can buy different forms of armor, different cloaks. And I did that. I bought the best ones that you could get. I couldn't get anything better than what I have now. And I did this after retrieving a bunch of money just from, killing a bunch of people or selling items that I had found. The thing is that, oh, no thank you in the chat says difficult. Listen, listen, I'm a very autistic man, but lol, just get good noob XD. Yeah, like the and the thing is that, like, you should be able to just make a bunch of money and then buy better weapons. I don't understand why you can't just do that. Like, I've been playing this level again and again and again for the last like 3 days now, some like insane thing like that. And I keep just playing this one fucking part in the entire game again and again and again, and it's maddening. It's absolutely maddening because I know that other people have taken this level in stride, gotten by super fast. I've watched people fucking do it. And yet I have to sit here, dash around enemies like a fucking Down syndrome-esque retard. And, like, shit. Oh my god. My power level is rising the more that I do these fucking dashes. Okay. But, yeah, like, I don't understand. I just, it... it makes me so mad. Makes me so mad. This game is cursed. It needs to be cursed with the soul of a million. Oh, Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot about locking on to people. I forgot you could do that. That would probably help. Hey, look at this. You can lock onto guys, and then you can like do this. Hey, we did it. Woo! Yay. Okay. Health. Woo! Oh my fucking god. This game really pisses me off though. Like, and I mean, I know it's made to do that, but the thing is, did people say Bloodborne is the easiest one in the series? Hell no, it's not. I played Dark Souls. Dark Souls was easier than this. It was an easier game. Maybe I was just better at video games back then. I have no idea. Maybe I really was. So I played Demon Souls, and Demon Souls, was significantly more difficult than this one. I'll give them that. But, like, this game, I feel like as a principle, it's probably Dark Souls 3 that's the easiest, to be honest. I haven't played Dark Souls 3, but from all the footage of it that I've seen, and maybe this is another red herring because in the case of this game, I thought it was going to be really easy from watching other people play it, so I don't know. But like from watching people play Dark Souls 3, I feel like that would probably be the easiest one. That one would make the most sense because they were trying to like appeal to normie sensibilities. This one was an exclusive title funded by Sony, so maybe this one was. Oh my fuck! Did I just not hit that fucking dog? Okay. All right. But yeah, like I don't. Maybe the this one, the intention behind it was just to be like a niche title. Okay, it's just a niche title. It's the way it is. Everybody say kumbaya and all this other stuff, and I get that. I really do. But there's great things about this game. You understand me here. There's great things about this game, and I feel like I actively cannot enjoy them when I cannot progress through the game because it is unfair in its difficulty. People analyze this game and they say it's not unfair. You just have to get really good at it. You just have to learn the mechanics. You just learn the mechanics, bro. Just memorize the way they fucking move, bro. And it like at certain times there's just so many enemies and they have such a high power level. Like what am I supposed to do with that? What do you expect me to do other than just to die again and again and again and again? Like I don't understand the rationale behind these people. I've seen the videos. I've watched analysis videos of this game in which people very pointedly, very in depth, try to explain how Bloodborne is able to be quote unquote easy if you just learn how to play it. I've seen it. I've seen people explain many times. It's like watching like a speed run. People of teaching you how to do a speed. Oh my fucking god! I keep wasting these blood valves every single fucking time I get over here. And then when I come back, I have less of them. And then eventually, all of them are just going to be gone. All of them are just going to be gone because it's as if I keep getting worse the more that I play this game. What the hell? Oh my fucking god. Oh. I think I'm gonna enjoy having a job more than playing this game. Why do people like this so much? Like, I like it. I like parts about it a lot. I feel like I actively can't enjoy those parts nearly as much just because it is so fucking difficult. Like, maybe, and I'm trying to figure it out because the typical response would be, well, Star, you're just complaining about nothing. And I don't understand. Oh, Liam in the chat says hi. How are you doing, Liam? Um, uh, like, people would say, "Oh, Star, you're just complaining about nothing." But if I have to spend, hours and hours trying to figure out how to do the mechanics in a game just to do the bare minimum to survive, I would call that a failed project as a game because if you're having to constantly learn the very very basics of survival, the very very basics of continuing forward, then that's just annoying at that point, you know? Like it's just infuriating. Um, I am well, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you're doing well, man. Oh shit. Oh, I just dodged a bullet there. Woo! But like maybe it's the satisfaction of beating a really difficult thing. Like I can understand that, where like there are, really difficult shmups that I like a lot that, most people would consider insanely hard. You look at something like Ikaruga, Radiant Silver Gun, these types of games. Games that not only have an insane learning curve, there's just so much going on the screen that to learn how to play them is a monolithic task in nature. Like and I enjoy games like that. But I think there's a succinct difference in, seeing a bunch of bullets, seeing, a bunch of ships going on the screen, and having to just incessantly, constantly deal with a horde, a barrage of enemies that provide the exact same power in hits, in attacks, or just enemies that are so insanely overpowered that the quantifications we have for that power just goes through the roof. We don't even have a scale anymore because how powerful they are exceeds all barriers of reason. And so you end up getting this weird push and pull where the enemies on the most basic level were too difficult in the first place. And then as you progress, they become even more too difficult to such a degree that it just feels comical. Like, if I look at a shmup like that, at least even though they're difficult, there's an even sense of progression. Where as you play the game, you're going to be progressively thrust into a situation in which you're getting progressively more difficult, more enemies, more shots, and the things that you learned from the prior levels, the abilities that you've now gained from doing those levels, you can now carry over into later levels. Like that's the appeal of games like that. It's about learning and the satisfaction of being able to beat something that is difficult. But when a game is just entirely unfair, like you look at a game like Ninja Gaiden, one of my favorite games, I certainly wouldn't call that game easy by any means. And in fact, I would argue it's one of the hardest games. But I can sit there and I can play that game for hours, learning the levels, paying attention, trying to get the necessary reflexes to progress properly through its levels, right? And yet, there's just something about this game that just perplexes me, that just pisses me off. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's me overreacting. I don't know if any of this is just for comical effect. But I do know that it fucking uh, people, people, uh, show. I don't even know. Oh boy, and I used more of my see now I have as many as I started out with. See, I spent a long time grinding to get 20 blood vials. So I had 20 blood vials from grinding again and again, just buy up as many of them as I can. I might actually do that. I might actually just do that again. And then when I get thrust into a really, because what I would do was I would deliberately choose not to use them in order to preserve health, right? Problem with this, however, is that when you get into such a difficult area, you know what? Actually, this round I'm gonna try and have I'm gonna try and have as few like hits in the beginning as possible, and then what I'm gonna do is when I get to the next part, if I get really damaged, I'm just gonna use all the fucking blood vials because this strategy I've been doing of just like preserving them, I don't think has been working very well for me based on the way I'm describing it now. Now that I think about it, so oh my fucking god. Okay, that was dumb. Uh, I can't look at the chat at the moment because it's a really high action situation. Give me a moment. Uh, mm, okay, I have to get rid of this guy. Woo! All right. Oh, no one posted anything. Okay. I should have like titled the live stream like my last day of freedom or something like that. I could do that. Can I do that through the app? No, I don't think I can. There's like there's filters that you can put on the stream. This is beam. This is shade. This is noir. This is bubbles. Okay. Uh, sepia, silver screen. Oh, sketch. Oh, this is fucking awesome. I like this. Yeah, we're playing Bloodborne in sketch now. Well, this is like piercing through your eyes. This looks terrible. Okay. But I mean, it's basically a podcast anyway. Like, whenever I do these streams, they're basically just podcasts. You know, like they're not actually a I should use these filters on live streams later. But um actually, yeah, let me just turn it back now. But yeah, like I uh I try to make these streams like basically just podcasts where there's constant talking, constant movement, because I know a lot of people don't like live streams, and so what I try to do is to try and like talk as much as I can and have lots of different topics. And I never come prepared with any topics. Maybe there's like one thing I want to talk about. Like usually it is literally one, but I end up just like doing improv for everything else. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, no, I'm getting a job. Yeah. This is my last day of freedom. Woo. Oh, that was somewhat better. Oh my. Okay. Congratulations. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice having extra money because I want to buy my dog better food, and so yeah, cause because he's very particular about what he eats. Like I try to I try to feed him the normal hard food like the cheap stuff you would get at the store, just because we can't afford anything else, and so what I want to do uh is when I get my paycheck, I want to try and buy him like soft food, like you know, like wet food and this type of thing to see if to see if he'll eat that more. Because I get really worried when he doesn't eat enough. So what I tend to do is I will just feed him parts of my food, so that I end up sharing food with him a lot because he just doesn't eat dog food otherwise. Oh boy. Oh, let me try and reframe the. Okay, there we go. That's at least a decent view. Oh yay, blood vial. Oh, 3 viewers. I'm hitting the big time now. Woo! Hey, evaded that one. We did it. Oh, wasn't able to evade that one. Blood vial. Woo! Oh my god. Did I just I keep forgetting that there's like randomly fire everywhere. And so you can just walk into it like with no problem. It'll just show up and I'm like, well, it really do be like that. See, and like these guys, they just have torches that they just use to fuck with you. You know what I can do? Let's go arms, right hand weapon. How do I wait, no, yeah, this one. I can equip the Molotovs, right? Wait, how do you let me check here. I need to check how personal effect, no. How do you use the Molotovs? Because I know there's a button for it, eh? Let me see here. Oh my god. Did I just use that health on accident? Yes, I did. Okay. Uh, I'll have to search through my inventory when I'm not literally under siege. Okay, Where did he go? Oh, okay, he's over there. Woo! Literally under siege. Jalen Harris says hello. Um, yeah, like I feel like the entire conversation surrounding this game is kind of flawed, just because maybe I'm literally not big brain enough to understand it. Like maybe I just my IQ is not soaring through the roof through the enough to be able to understand how to play this game properly. But for me, it just seems like the difficulty and learning curve is uneven, and it feels deeply flawed because of that. Um, let's see. Okay, how do I? Which button was it to use? I might actually just end up. I might actually just end up searching. Oh my god! Why do I keep doing that? I keep pressing that button by accident. Uh, Molotov cocktail. Oh, okay, that's how you do it. You just literally, that's such a terrible design choice. Like, I keep finding these just totally random things about this game that are like horrible as design choices. Like, look at this. What you have to do is you have to literally go into your inventory, right? And then click use to use a Molotov cocktail. Terrible mechanic. Oh, okay. Hard equals good. Yeah, I mean, I've made a lot of videos saying that exact stance, which is what's kind of funny about this because okay, that's not how it works. Shake my head. Well, what button is it, Jalen Harris? Please tell me, enlighten me. Let me know how does it work? I don't understand. Oh, okay. Assign it to a slot. Well, I was just opening the slots. Okay, let me I'm actually really bad at video games. I think I'm but I like the weird thing is that I play like super difficult shmups like all the time, and yet when I play like an action game, like I'm really bad. Oh my fuck, did I just die? Okay. Well, it gives me time to assign it to a slot now. Um oh, but like that's what's weird is that like I play really difficult games, but when I try to play a game like this or like Devil May Cry, I'm sitting there and it's like a deer in the headlights. Like I'm unable to be able to play it properly. Let me see here. Well, so I can't. Let's see. Toggle stats. Assign it to us. Display. Wait a minute. Wait, I'm very confused. Wait, can I? I can just use this to fortify the weapon, right? Interact. I'm okay. Let me see here. What do you mean assign it to a slot? Because you can't like quick items. Oh, okay. That's how you do it. You see those boxes at the bottom? Yeah, no, I just did it. This is why this is why we this is why we don't let people play video games who are dumb like me. Whew. Yeah, this game's pretty bad. I don't. Okay, I was trying to say that I did understand how to play the game, but I literally can't make that point anymore because I just like directly showed you that I didn't. Uh, see here. I want to know the origin of C's username. How did he come up with just to make himself called the letter C? That's pretty cool. Because I now I've seen it so many times on the live streams, and I need to know. I need to know what was the story behind this. What was the reasoning? See, now I'm the greatest Souls game player. Now I take back everything negative I said about this game. That like 20-minute tirade I went on about the mechanics of it. Yeah, no, I take all of that back. This game's actually the best. Woo! Well, your IRL name starts with C, and it became a nickname. Oh, I see. I always like stuff like that, where like when people write letters to each other and they put in like, oh, this is from L, or they just put like one line and then they put L or R or something. Like those are fun. I always like ending letters with initials. Honestly, the art of doing typewritten letters, I feel like is kind of lost at this point, and I miss that. Oh my God, am I really this bad that I keep throwing the Molotovs in the wrong place? What the hell? I literally keep throwing them in the wrong place, like the exact wrong place. Am I this bad at this game? Oh my God. But I always like typewritten letters because of that, because it sort of has a feeling to it that's nice. Uh I really wish people wrote letters to one another still. Like I enjoyed that a lot. I've only done it a few times, but each time that I've done it, it's always felt pretty cool. You know, maybe one day when I am out of this country and I can be at the liberty to just kind of do whatever. You know, I mean, the job that I want to do would be online, so it's not like I would be able to be totally disconnected from the internet, but I wasted all of those blood vials and Molotov cocktails just to die again. That's how bad I am at this game. But I think it would be kind of nice to just like sit down and write letters to people and then communicate that way. I think that would be cool. But like anyone anyone who would read it, I feel like would just want TFW learn FFs learn how to aim. I'm gonna have to, or else I'm just gonna waste all of my weapons. Uh, but yeah, like, um, but the whole international postage situation would be kind of peculiar because if I'm sending, you know, the letter from Vietnam and it goes through the Vietnam Post and all this other stuff to be able to get sent to the United States, what is that? Like a 2 week delay? So we'd be sending letters back to one another constantly, and it would be a 2 week delay between between all of the letters. So, like, I don't know if it's actually 2 weeks. That's just something I made up off the top of my head. If you're sending a letter on a plane, it would probably go faster, but it costs so much for postage at that point. Like, why? Why, other than for just to enjoy like the abstract feeling of sending a letter, the nostalgia of being able to do things that way. That'd be literally the only reason. Um, which for me is a good enough reason, but for the other person, you know, how can they justify that? How can they justify the time that it would take to actually, you know, to actually sit down and put in the money to do that? You know, when you can just send a text message. Like I know you can, and I, I have no problem with doing it, but at the same time, if I were to be given a preference, if I were to be given, you know, one option entirely, um, I would just pick writing letters, to be honest with you. I would just pick writing letters because the sort of constant immediacy that's associated with chat rooms and that's associated with sending messages, I'm not like the biggest fan of, even though, you know, obviously it isn't it isn't as much that I don't enjoy friendship, because obviously that's not true, but it's more so that the medium with which friendship is carried out on the internet, I think, is very disorganized and kind of there's a lot of time wasting involved essentially. And so like, the act of sending a letter, the fact that that 1 week delay exists instead of just constantly sending messages to one another, allows you to sort of get every point hammered home. There isn't this sense of immediacy where you have to type out the next message really fast. You just write a response to everything else that was written, like it's not that difficult when you do it that way, because now you really do have the time to think about, okay, this is my response to this point and that point and that point. And you could have like an entire debate or an entire argument over the course of like months just through letters to one another. That's actually what philosophers who were friends with one another used to do, is that they would dig up, these letters that they had from one another, or like a famous writer who had been in contact with lots of these different people who, after they died, their letters would get re-released and stuff, and then people would be able to understand on a deeper level who that person was. It's almost a very natural form of archiving, because it is quite literally a conversation that's being put in print form. And so, if I ever ended up being, a writer that people cared about on a platform, larger than YouTube, and if I got the ability to do it consistently, I feel like that would be really cool, entirely for narcissistic purposes. To, for someone out there to be able to have these little snippets of the story that, aren't that aren't always there, otherwise. It's where, like, you're sort of uncovering all of the little bits of truth about this person, and then as the years goes on, there's that one guy who, in their shoebox under their bed somewhere, has entire thought processes, entire conversations that were simply unknown years before. It's like it would be as if I had vlogs coming out years after my death, That's how it would be. And I love stuff like that, because you look at someone like Bukowski, and only like a few years ago, I think it was like 2014, there was an entire book compilation of these letters that he wrote, where he had all these little drawings and these little personalized things in the letters. And for me, as a fan of his work and as a fan of him as a writer, getting more of that personal narrative, being able to understand him on a deeper level through an unguarded personal medium, I think that's really cool. And so I hate the way that message systems are like set up online. I hate the constant immediacy of it. I hate the sheer amount of time that's spent on them, because a lot of it is literally just a waste in comparison to doing other things. And I also think that, the ability to refine the page, the ability to refine the thoughts that you're sending to a friend, I think makes the experience of getting the letter more valuable. And the fact that it is a rare thing. For other people, they would go, well, 1 week's time, that's quite a long time to hear back from you. But when I think of it, I go, wow, 1 week's time, I can't wait to hear back from you, because the scarcity of these letters makes the entire experience more valuable. I really enjoy the act of limiting myself in order to appreciate the experience more, because if you're constantly consuming or receiving one thing, the sort of meaning that was created out of the rarity that that thing had just sort of goes away, because now, when you're receiving something constantly, it becomes as much of a part of your life as brushing your teeth does. And we don't end up jumping around going, wow, it's party time because we're going to brush our teeth. No, it's just a normal part of our life, the way breathing is, like. And people tend to turn pleasurable activities into that. And I think, it's all the more valuable to kind of experience those things on a less frequent basis. And so I think letters are really cool because of that. It's just that, like, who is gonna exchange letters with me? Like, no one's gonna do that. That's the thing, is that I'm too much of a boomer for my own good, I feel like. Let me look back at the chat, because there's probably a lot of stuff. I had a friend that wanted to become pen pals, but he wanted to do it through email. Lol. Who does that? Who uses email? There's an app called Slowly, which matches users of similar interests, but only lets you get to type one message per 24 hours. Interesting. I've never heard of that. I like getting letters. Yeah, I do too. Like it feels so nice to be able to, come back 1 week later after well, for me it was school. So after coming back from school, for the entire week, you walk to the mailbox, and then that one friend who you've been pen pals with sends you the letter, and it feels so good because you remember just a week ago you typed yours out, and now they've made a whole response, and it's like an event. It's not like with messages where the sort of impermanence of it takes away the meaning. The meaning is that it is, it's a rare thing, but it's a good thing. And I think when you constantly expose yourself to something pleasurable, then it becomes less meaningful because now, like I said, it's just a part of your daily life. Uh, you don't have to kill every enemy in the area, just kill whoever is necessary, but your objective should be getting to the boss room. Yeah, I don't know why I've been killing every enemy. I've just been like doing that, just because I don't know why. It was just sort of an instinctual thing, but thank you. That actually genuinely helps because I can literally just run away from them. I haven't considered that. I like killing this guy here because I can take the health vials that he has, but he's fucking. If he grabs onto you, he'll take away like all of your health. It's a mess. So that's why you have to sort of evade around him. But he's slow, so it's easy to kill him because he's just really slow. Oh shit! See, like that right there, like that. Is that what he'll do? I have to reuse health now. Is that he'll either charge into you or he'll just hit you over and over again with those. Oh wow, the health that I used to kill him ended up ended up being the. Let me see here. It ended up being the health that I regained. Well, no, I regained one. Oh, gotta go fast. Gotta kill this guy. Oh boy. I want to talk about another thing. Is that I did a live stream with DZ Dog yesterday, and I didn't think of talking about this. I tried re-listening to Pizza Party podcasts, like recent episodes that they did, because it used to be like my favorite podcast like 2 years ago. I used to really love that show, and the show has gotten so bad. Like maybe I'm just misremembering what the show was like. Maybe it's nostalgia because I was quite young when I got into the show. It's like 3 years ago. Yeah, I think it might have been more than 3 years ago that I listened to Pizza Party podcast. But basically, like I was re-listening to this show, and I listened to just like a recent episode that they did, and oh shit. Okay, I have to take health. Oh, whoo. This guy, he's jumping all about. Oh my, did I really just do that? Okay. But I was listening to a recent episode, and yeah, maybe I just didn't remember. Maybe when I was younger it was just bad the whole time, but I remember certain bits that like stuck out in my head that were really funny, or the chemistry was really good and they had lots of stuff to talk about. But now like I look at the show and I listen to episodes of the show, and it's just people like very awkwardly rambling about stuff that they clearly don't care about, or they'll just make references to just irreverent things that they don't even have anything to say about. They just go, "Oh, hey, you remember this? I remember that. Okay, moving on." Like it's just so cringeworthy to listen to, and a lot of it feels like Pan is sitting there flaunting, being like, "Hey, I have a GF now," and it's like, "All right, dude, I get it." And yeah, the show's really really bad now. Uh, there are some episodes, man. There are some episodes that were really funny from what I remember, but it's just absolutely horrendous now, and it's kind of sad. I can literally just run away through here. I don't even have to attack those dogs that are just sitting there. I can just run like this. I don't know why I didn't ever think to do that. That's where I started out, right? Yeah, okay. There's a bunch of dead guys there, so that's where I started out. Oh, Bloodstone Shard. Yay. I could never get into the Pizza Party podcast because the cast size is so large and the topics are temporal. Yeah, like I think the best parts of the show were always the parts where they talked about old stuff. Like it was always stuff that didn't really, it wasn't news and stuff. It was the parts where they talked about like older stuff. And I always thought like the sort of insight that they had on older media was interesting, and the fact that like, you know, when there was a small cast, when there was only like a few like normal members, like I always like Jim the most because Jim is like a boomer, like he's like 40 years old or something like that, and so he's a good member of the show, and so he understands humor. Like he understands how to make stuff funny. And so, you know, when he would be there and then sometimes Pan would say something funny, but I mean most of the time it's just kind of cringeworthy. Like I always liked him the most. You know, I always thought he was a good. Oh my, why did I do that? Okay. Okay, I don't mean boomer in the literal sense. I'm gonna. This is gonna be another case of Monkey Zulu shitting on me for not using words in the way that I'm supposed to. Again, I'm gonna refer back to the point that I made yesterday about aesthetics, but yeah, like, but yeah, like, what was I saying? But I mean, I always thought he was funny. He was a funny member of the show, but like when they had just these random ass guests on who no one cares about and who didn't have chemistry with anyone else on the show, it just felt like why are these people here? And sometimes when they talked about news, it was funny, but it would have to be like really like weird news that you know was easy to make fun of, where like you know, like now, I feel like they've just ran out of jokes. Like, I think the best parts of the show were always the bits. It was always the parts where I'm just gonna literally just run through. It was always the parts where you know they were making this like grand narrative out of something totally irreverent and random, and they were able to make it have a lot of comedic value and purpose. Like that stuff was cool. You know, they created something really unique in those bits, but you have to go through tons and tons of just episodes of just irreverent nonsense that like at what point does it become worth it? You know, like at what point do you know that an episode is going to be good or not? That like so I had this reflection where I was like, man, like 4 years ago, I had the patience to listen to this, but now, you know, now it's not only that the new episodes are by and large, by the majority, terrible, it's also that the old episodes, you can't even find them because the patience that you would need is so Herculean in nature that it's just not even worth it, you know? Uh, oh no, that guy's following me now. He's getting up here. Have to run away. Have to run away. Oh no. Now this is epic right here. This is what makes this game cool, is that you can just run away really fast from enemies. Yeah, this is just how I'm gonna play the game from now on. I spent like I spent like an hour. Well, no, I spent like multiple days at this point. Yeah, I spent like 3 days going back and forth trying to beat that level in this very specific way when apparently all you have to do is just run away from enemies. Wow. Let me check the chat. I could never get into Pizza Party. Oh, wait, no, I already read that. I've only listened to the episode where Digi and YMS were on, so I don't exactly get the best first impression. Yeah, those episodes were really, really boring. My favorite episode was when he got a porn star to do voice lines in the main channel video, and then the rest of the cast cringed at how Pan was interested at her. Yeah, that sounds pretty funny. I was like the episodes where they just dunk on Pan and where they just fuck with him. Like that, those are always really fun because he's willing to make himself the joke, you know? He's willing to you know, to have the humility or you know, lack of shame to make himself what video game is this? This is Bloodborne. This is part of the Dark Souls series, or it's part of the Souls series, but it's like a spin-off basically. But like yeah, like I always like these characters that can just sort of make themselves a joke, you know? That you know they don't care so much that oh, he fell down. Cool. I don't have to kill him. Uh these guys are difficult because their weapons are ginormous in diameter. Like they can, you know, they can really mess you up if you're not careful. They're kind of like the big guys, where the big guys that I was talking about. Oh, look at that. Yeah, see? what he can do is he can just push you down basically and then jam the rod right through you. And so you have to be really, really careful when it comes to these guys. But because their weapon is so big, they have time where they have to calm down, where they've used expanded too much energy, and so that's the time where you can get in the hit and kill him. And so kind of important. Uh, yeah, there we go. Uh, well, I wouldn't recommend running from every enemy. Yeah, no, I know that. um, let's see here. I'm gonna try and fall down onto this thing, so I can grab whatever this is. Oh, I almost did it. Okay. Woo! I have to. I think there's like a giant. Oh no, there's rats. Oh no. Okay. What if I played like a challenge run of this game where I have to run away from absolutely every single enemy in the game? That would be funny. Oh no, and the rats follow you too, and then they kill you. Oh no. At least I know how to play the game at least semi better now though. Mm. Oh boy. But I actually no, I think I like this game now. I take back every negative thing that I said. I take it all back. Um, but yeah, when I get a job this week, I'm gonna finally be able to say that when I read Marx, I have the quote unquote experience to be to be a socialist. You know, I have the experience now. I know I'm gonna have the exact same opinions that I do but like people act like just because you haven't worked a job, you can't have a political opinion. That like the the experience of seeing others experience trauma and bad things happen from from the way the system is organized just somehow invalidates the your political stance that you have to experience those bad things now. I don't really understand how that's supposed to work, but it's the way that people argue. And so, oh, did I? I should have used health. But like, it's always weird to me when I hear this because people say, "Well, you don't have enough experience to argue this point." But like, the point that I'm making is made by people who have lots and lots of experience. You know, people who are very, very old who have been continuing to argue the same points. Well, then people would say, well, what that is that those people are just dumb. And then I was like, well, wait a minute. I thought the paragon of reason was experience. And so if those people have more experience, arguably more experience than you, through age and just actually doing things, going to war-torn countries, etc., then how is it then that that isn't enough? I thought that was the paragon of reason. Well, then they would say, well, I understand that those people are dumb because I'm smart. It's like, well, how does that come into being? Why? Why are you smart? What is your reasoning for that? Well, it's because I believe this. And I go, well, I believe this, and I think I'm smart for believing this. So where is your argument? And then they say, well, my experiences are more correct. And I'm just sitting here thinking, how? How are these experiences somehow more correct? How do you substantiate a claim like that? It's just such an absurd thing to say. And I don't understand it. I don't understand how people can live life thinking this way when there's so many logical fallacies that you can easily just unpack from these very basic statements, and yet their entire worldview is predicated on these ideas, on this idea that you simply can't have a stance if you don't have this experience. And so when I finally do get it, uh, I can rub it in everyone's face and say, yeah, uh, full employment is still good. Universal housing is still good. Ha ha, take that. You know? Really weird. It's really weird. Oh boy. And then they try to claim this is my favorite one, is then they say, well, I lived through that time. And it's like, yeah, you lived through the time to experience the immense amount of propaganda and the lack of events, or properly understand these theoretical concepts. Like, when you're constantly being indoctrinated by or just seeing misinformation, and you do not have the resources to counter that misinformation, you're going to end up having a wrong-headed view. And I don't understand how that's difficult to understand. Like, it's one of those things where, the amount of cognitive dissonance that people are willing to put themselves in to continue believing the same things is kind of incredible. Because all you really have to do with these people is ask questions. If you ask questions and they can't answer them, and you just keep asking more questions and they're unable to answer them, then their entire argument, the entire crux of their point just falls apart, you know? Um, so I think it's fun to do that because people get mad. They just end up getting angry. And then at that point, you win uh, because they literally don't have a point to their, so they end up defaulting to emotional reasoning. Or, they default to these unsubstantiated claims that have been debunked right in front of them. They just say, well, no, I'm right, so I'm just going to keep repeating the same stuff that you ended up debunking only a moment ago. Uh, let's see here. Oh, no, I forgot these guys were here. That's the thing, is that you can't run up the stairs if you didn't kill the people on the stairs. Oh, no. You... Okay, I didn't die. When we die, words won't do anything. It's permanently night, and I can't feel anything. We'll all be laughing with you when you die. Oh, oh no. Woo! I got him. We did it. We did it, Reddit. Let me check. Okay, no one said anything. But my point for today is that use evidence to reason your points. It's not that I'm just sitting here trying to say I'm right about everything, because I've changed my beliefs on many things when posed with different evidence. So all you have to do is just pose evidence to make your claims. But if your claims aren't supported by evidence, or any kind of rational basis that, is generally agreed upon in terms of how to substantiate said claims, then you're just going to have those claims fall apart, and then I'm not going to listen to them. It's not that disagreeing is the problem. It's the basis with which you argue in the first place, the foundation. And I think that's an important detail that a lot of people just gloss over or refuse to see, because they don't want to have to see it. They don't want to have to deal with the fact that maybe they're wrong. Maybe they, ended up making something on false assertions, on a bad foundation, a shaky foundation. I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to sit down and say, okay, the evidence that you've posed to me at this time, until I'm exposed to other evidence that says the contrary, is correct. I was wrong. You know, why is it so hard to do that? Like, that should be like thought 101, right? If you're gonna debate somebody, that should be like the very basic thing that you know how to do. Like, that should be the first thing. The purpose of debate isn't to look cool and to, try and be the person who has the best cognitive dissonance. It isn't to be the top dog who can yell at everybody else until they just refuse to talk to you. It should be to come to correct conclusions through, processes of receiving more evidence, of questioning your own biases, questioning your own beliefs, and of trying to use, these processes like deductive reasoning, the scientific method, the thing. Oh my foot. I keep getting like progressively further, and then I die at like these one like random enemies that anyway. But you know, I don't understand why it's so hard for people to just question what it is that they believe and then try and change their belief when they realize, oh, maybe I was wrong about this. It's really not that big of a deal. Like, your entire identity doesn't need to be shaped around the things that you believe. I think what's more important and what's a much stronger foundation for your identity is the ability to change. The ability to be given different sets of evidence that say otherwise, and to be able to you know do good stuff or something. I forgot what I was talking about actually. Ooh. Star debunks everyone with facts and logic. Woo! We did it. Yay. Oh, I thought I was gonna get killed for a moment. When we die, words won't do anything. Most people can't question their beliefs because most people don't know what they believe. Thinking isn't knowing. Yeah, like, I don't think people try to have a coherent belief system. I think they just kind of feel, oh, why did I use that? um, yeah, like, people, they, they, they form their entire identity around their emotions instead of around, at least surround them around facts. Jeez, like, I can at least kind of respect people who have figures to give, but then you look at the figures and it's like, it's from like the Koch brothers and the Heritage Found, like, all of these weird places. Like, you know, I don't understand. I just and someone linked me an article as like a refutation of my point, where he linked me this article that like tried to psychologically break down how people literally can't be convinced of other points. And he told me, well, this psychological study that people can't change proves that I'm correct. And it's like, okay, I'm a parametric determinist. If you want to talk about the freedom to change with me, I think I'm going to be more or less aligning with the view that people are a product of circumstance and of the culmination of stimuli, of experience, of all these other external factors. That the reason you are the way you are as a result of external factors. Okay, I agree with that. Not going to disagree. But the idea that people somehow can't change uh, is denying those external factors in the first place, because the reason you are the way you are is as a result of those things. So why can't the external factors change to be able to make you change? Why can't, why can't okay, I'm really close to dying here, so I gotta focus on the game for a moment. But oh my god, did I just get shot? Yeah, I got shot. Okay. Uh Oh, I'm doing really bad all of a sudden. Like, this is actually comically bad in terms of how I'm playing here. Oh, did this guy have a blood vial? Yes, thank you. Woo! Oh, now this guy's over here too. Oh no. Okay, I have to run. Run, run, run. Okay. Um, but like, what was I talking about? Uh, oh yeah. Like, I can... Was I talking about that? No. No, I wasn't talking about that. Uh, yeah, I forgot what we were talking about. What was it? It was something. It's most... Let me look back through the chat. Most people... So, I was saying most people can't question... Okay, so yeah, like, people don't really try to have coherent thoughts in the first place. If... Let's see. Oh, wait, I gotta run away from these guys. There's so many rats. Look at these guys. They're just everywhere. Uh, let's see. What was I talking about? Did I die? Yeah, I died. Uh, let's see. It depends on the person. You bring up that someone killed a lot of people, but if someone who are talking thinks that killing people was necessary at that point, well, no. Like I don't. I never said that morality isn't subjective. I don't think that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about strictly about the use of evidence and stuff. Uh, Morality is subjective. Like you're not going to be able to like objectively quantify morality. That's up to the individual. If you think that killing people is bad at any point, you wouldn't be able to talk normally with that person. Well, well, uh, again, like it's about morality. Like if your specific morals impede you from being able to have a stance, then there's no like that's just your personal choice. That's how you it's you more on an emotional level. Then I can't blame you for feeling that way because that's your subjective morality. Um, I'm not really a huge fan of moralizing like every little thing a lot, uh, just because I feel like it's pointless. But that's my individual stance as a result of my emotions and the way I view the world. That's a philosophy thing. That's not, we can argue till the cows come home about how a philosophy is applied and about if these specific conclusions have a basis, but ultimately it's going to be up to the individual to decide their own morality. That's how that's going to be. I'm talking about trying to understand things with, things that we can observe in reality with evidence and stuff like that. I'm not talking about morals. Uh, People just want to prove to others that they have self-worth by shouting at them in online arguments. That is basically how Twitter works. Yeah, like the whole algorithm of Twitter is made to do that because if you like a certain post or if your friends like a certain post, you're going to get recommended more posts that kind of have the same topic. And if you reply to a certain post that has a certain topic, then I'm actually just gonna stop playing the game now. But like if you reply to a post that has a certain topic, like it's going to just recommend you in the algorithm the other posts that have similar topics. So let's say you get to an argument with someone who's really like left wing and you hate left wingers, right? Okay. And so, you get into this argument and your friend likes a post that's similar. Well, now the algorithm has it in its head that you're interacting with, and your friends, your people who you follow, are interacting with posts of that nature. Okay, now it's gonna send you posts that are like that, and the more you engage with them, the more they're gonna be recommended. And so it's sort of like a feedback loop where you're constantly in this negative cycle of what's it called? Um, uh, what was I talking about? Anyway, but yeah, let me take another look at the chat. I find it kind of weird that people like care so much about their own morality that they're unable to like speak to people who have a different moral view. Where like if someone believes, let's say for example, you're very against killing. You think killing is terrible, it's the worst thing, and then someone comes out and says, "Well, I think killing is pretty cool." Why do people care so much? That's their individual point of view. That's their opinion. Like, yeah, it's a different opinion. It's a different moral quantification of the world, but it's not the end of the world to just listen to them talk. Like, there's ultimately gonna be a reason they feel this way. Circumstantial, psychological, maybe even spiritual. I don't know. I don't have proof to disprove a claim like that. And so like people are ultimately going to be a sum of the events that have occurred in their life. So why get so upset about it when you know that the reason they are the way they are is because of where they came from? Like, who cares? Like, even without taking that into account, who cares? They just have a different view of the world. Like, is it that big of a deal to hear someone who just has a different view? Like I can understand, if someone is just saying something really, really stupid and you just don't want to listen to them. Like the other day I had something like that where someone was just saying really dumb things and I was like, "Okay, I just don't want to hear this in my chat." And that I can understand because it can be annoying to hear, but like getting like physically like disgusted about it. Oh, this person isn't in my moral framework, so that means they're bad. Like it's so weird to me. Uh do you know Steve Kaufman? A really motivating guy. Yeah, no, I love watching his videos. He's given me a lot of methods to learn language better, and he's really good. I like his videos a lot. Oh boy. But let me see. I want to try and let's put this filter on here. Maybe this filter will look good. No? Let me actually let me turn the light on and see how this filter looks. Yeah, Steve Kaufman's videos are good. So I like I saw a video he did in like let me is this one? How does this one look? I saw a video he did in Russian and Ukrainian, and I thought that was really impressive. Oh, ooh, we're in spooky time now, guys. We're spooky. I'm a spooky man or something. I don't know why YouTube put these filters here, cause like they're pretty similar. They don't really do anything, but they're kind of cool. Kind of cool. Like this. My dog is sleeping under the covers over there, so he's away. I OBS has bubble mode. You want bubble mode? Okay. Let me do that. I still don't understand why they have this. Look at this. Why? What's the purpose of this? Makes no sense. I still use the bed sheets that I used when I was like 8 years old because I just never bought other bed sheets. I've always just used the same ones over and over again. Don't understand. He was on Ukrainian TV recently. Hello. It would seem the live stream is back. I don't understand this. Why does it do it? Why does it do this? But let me see. I won't engage with people with certain belief if it's a lost cause belief. There's only a few subjects like this. If someone denies evolution, for instance, meant when I said really, really dumb is that I don't have any problem with people having a different view. I don't have any problem with, just talking to them about that. I have some of my best friends. I totally disagree with them on tons and tons of stuff. It's fine because it doesn't bother me. Like, it doesn't affect me to just have someone around who disagrees, even in fundamental, ginormous ways. The difference, however, is when they become like a lost cause, like there's no way to convince them, then you don't necessarily cut them out of your life. You just don't engage with them on those subjects because we're going to disagree, so there's no point in talking about it. So you just don't talk about those things because it's a lost cause. Um, and also like with certain people, they're just like so fundamentally boring and wrong at the same time that there's no reason to talk to them because they're just boring. They don't understand anything anyway, and it would just be arguments constantly. So there's no reason to engage with them on that stuff because they bring you no pleasure to talk to. Oh boy. Hmm. uh, I was listening to all of Father John Misty's records recently. He's basically like a folk musician who has like some electronica elements in his music, but it's mostly just folk with like pianos and stuff. I listened to the album "I Love You, Honey Bear" again, and that album, man, oh my, I think it might be one of my favorites. Like, I always liked Pure Comedy as an album because there's certain songs on there that I feel like just in a very depressing way just sum up all of the big problems with people and the world we live in. But like that, that album is too long. Like it's like an hour long. It's for folk music, I can't listen to folk music for like a 1 hour record. It's just too much. But I feel like "I Love You, Honey Bear" has the perfect medium of the songs kind of change as it goes on. You know, they're not all the same. They don't ever extend their welcome. They don't overstay. And so, you know, like the lyrics, like they just feel so emotional in how they're said, and the instrumentation is just very interesting and kind of weird for folk music, and like the voice that he has, you know, it just expresses so much emotion in his voice, and I've been listening to this album over and over and over again now, and I went back and I listened to all of his other stuff. Uh, I think I've used some of his songs in videos, but they're mostly like old videos from like over a year ago. Um, so maybe I'll use a song in a video if I have like an emotional if I have like an emotional climax that I want to make in a vlog. I haven't done that in a while. I haven't put a song in a vlog to like make a deeper point. That could be fun. Could be nice to do. I think uh but when I got monetization, I started putting songs and videos less because I wanted to I wanted to make as much money out of ads as I could so I could buy video games. But I might do that. Might I just have to it just has to be for the right reasons. Like you can never force a song into a video. You can never force an emotional point to be made because then well, I mean you can and I know how to. I just don't want to. Like it's not the same if you force it. Like it's not the same thing if you just manufacture an emotional video, you know? Like it has to come from the heart because then it feels really truly special, you know? So I want to try I want to try to make something like that. It just has to come to me. You know, those are always my favorite videos that I do is the ones that have more of like an emotional backing to it. Oh boy. Mm. I need to write. I need to write more. I was writing a script. I was writing a script for the Shonen Ronin channel like a week ago or something, and then I just never finished it because there was so much research involved, and I'm not good at writing research-heavy projects. You know, projects where you have to put citations with everything. Um, Projects where you know you really do have to substantiate every single claim and then write them out in a way that uh, in a way that's structured and like it feels like you know boom 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 point made point made point made you know like that type of thing is kind of difficult for me. I'm very much like a stream of consciousness writer in the way that I write heart very genuine things as a result of writing stream of consciousness. Then other times you write really bad things because you just don't know how to properly structure stuff. So I've just been trying to practice just by making, you know, totally random, irreverent posts, you know, as a way to practice. So I want to get better at writing. That's one thing that I've been trying to focus on more lately. But if I'm working, it's going to be you know it's going to be more difficult to focus on that aspiration. At the same time, maybe I could like write a story based on work or something. That could be nice. Oh boy. Mhm. I still never read these uh I still never read these Bakemonogatari novels. They've just been sitting here. They've just been sitting here, and I just never took the time to read these. Maybe, maybe I'll do that today, actually, because it could be good content. If I could do like a book review, do book review on Bakemonogatari. It's just the books are so long. That's the thing. They're just so long. Ugh, I don't. Wow, these are really good. What do you mean? What do you mean by these? Confused. Let's see, Crush, Glow, Slate, Noir. Ooh, Noir. I like this. So hello, we're in we're in black and white town now. Books. Oh yeah, yeah. Bakken, I can just show you that this this they basically have like they have the covers that like they look like anime basically on the cover. You actually read the book. It's just a normal book. It's basically like young adult fiction. That's who this is for. It's for teenagers and stuff. Uh, these, I'm, I don't like the anime. I had an entire debate on my channel about the anime, that the anime was shit. Uh, and so I'm gonna get good, and I'm gonna read the books at some point. Uh, I guess. Maybe I never will. Maybe these just sit here and collect dust. I have no idea. Oh, why do I spend all my money on fucking nonsense like this? Oh boy. I'm. Let's see. I don't think I can buy it in Russia for normal price. Read it on the internet. Um. Yeah, it's I have a feeling there's probably some kind of import problem going on there. Maybe not. I don't know. 'Cause I know in the EU, like in the EU, you can get you likely won't like the novels. Well, I don't believe that because the problem with the anime, when I watched the anime, I had this thought where this would be good only if it was a book. It would only be good if it was a book. And the reason why is because they force you to listen to these fucking boring, irreverent conversations all the time when that's not how you make a show. That's not how you make a TV show. The way you make a TV show is by showing and not telling. It's the most basic part of storytelling. And they end up having these ginormous, long, drawn out, boring conversations that would be interesting theoretically, but only on paper. Because with a book, you can read back over it, you can look at the parts that you didn't understand. With a TV show, it's just the dialogue is constantly going back and forth with one another, and you can't properly have breathing room to understand what's going on because now it's bim 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 another sentence and it's not how you make a TV show. So I always thought I had the thought in the back of my mind that man, the subject matter for this is interesting, but it just becomes boring to watch through because it feels like I have to constantly read more and more subtitles packed on top of one another instead of just sitting down and taking my time to actually read what's going on here. It doesn't mesh well together. Like the act of reading these ginormous lines of text in a TV show while also looking at the visuals and hearing the music, it does not mesh well together at all. It feels like the mediums are almost clashing with one another. Where it makes perfect sense as books, it does not make sense as a show. Which a lot of people disagree with me on that. Uh, so I don't know. I think I would like the books because the subject matter itself is interesting. The problem is how it's applied in television. For oh boy. And I generally don't like a lot of shows that have really long, drawn out conversations. I like shows that sort of do the traditional way of storytelling, which is show, don't tell. I mean, it's a pretty basic rule. Um, it can be interesting to break the mold in a kind of postmodernist way, but more often than not, I don't see that being done. I think K-On! Is one of the few shows that really does the sort of conversation formula good. Um, and even then, it's not really an apt comparison because there's so much of the story that's just told through visuals and without dialogue. That's just told through character interactions, the sort of silent undercurrent that's under the what the conversations are. I don't know. Monogatari visualizes conversations well. I mean, yeah, the visuals look trippy and cool and stuff, but like if you have to sit there and just read lines and lines and lines of text, um, then the visual component surrounding it becomes kind of dumb. Like it's not really interesting anymore because now you're just sitting there, basically reading a book unofficially. Like it. That's the problem. Is that it watching Monogatari feels like I'm reading a book, but not. Where it feels like it should be a book where you can find your own pace, you can pace it yourself. and you can read back over lines that you didn't get. When it's a TV show, I don't want to have to go back to read back over lines that I didn't get, like, because it messes up the entire flow of the story. It breaks your immersion to do that, you know? Um, it's just really annoying. And I can't get immersed in a show like Monogatari because there's just too many lines, trains of thought going on at once. Maybe I would enjoy it more. Maybe I would enjoy it more if I watched it in Japanese. But I'm not at the level yet to where I can understand what's exactly going on because there's so many like weird cultural there's so many like weird cultural figures of speech and stuff that like you would understand if you're Japanese, or just like weird grammatical puns and stuff that I don't get that stuff yet. You know, I'm not at that advanced level, so I can't watch the show properly. I feel like if I knew Japanese fluently, you know, I would at least have like some interest in the TV show. I probably still feel the same way about how it is structurally, but I think I would enjoy it at least a little bit more. Oh boy. I've complained about all of this in the past, but the difference was is that I was sort of like, well, maybe I can understand it if I try. Nowadays, I just don't have any patience. I don't have any patience to try and understand Monogatari. I don't want to sit there and read through all the lines. I just want to read the books because the premise itself is cool. Um, does language learning go well? Your memory is terrible. My long-term memory is okay. It's mostly about trying to get it in the long-term memory by just doing it over and over again. Um, so it's I would say other people are probably faster than me, but I'm still making progress. Like, yeah, I'm not going as fast as other people, but I am making progress. So it's about not giving up. Um, if as long as you just don't give up, then you can make it. If you repeat something enough times, eventually you will remember it. It's just about applying it to a context that is rememberable. Um, so I don't know. I blame doctors. I mean, the doctors blame themselves, but I blame them for everything. It's so bad. It's I've been destroyed. My mind has been broken. It's like a mind break or something. I don't know. I'm thinking of growing a beard. I'm thinking of I hate facial hair. I hate having facial hair. But for some reason I feel like it would be really funny to grow a beard and run around. I don't think it would look good on me at all. It's definitely not my aesthetic. Part of me kind of wants to just because I think it would be funny. Oh boy. I didn't sleep very well last night. I tossed and turned a lot and ended up waking up like every few hours and I couldn't sleep. So I've been tired today just because I was sleeping at like 7. I was sleeping at like 7 or 8 pretty continuously, consistently. Um, but then it just got messed up all of a sudden where one night I was just laying in the bed for like 6 hours and I couldn't get to sleep. And then last night, I just kept waking up over and over and over again and having to go back to sleep. And it was a mess. It was really painful having to deal with that. Uh, so I've been tired today because of that. It's going to be even worse when I go into work. When I go into work, um, you know, being tired and stuff, it's going to suck. Because I know the type of work I'm going to be doing is going to suck. But I'm just too lazy to shave it every week. Probably will make a beard too. Yeah, that's the thing, is that I'm too lazy to do a lot of things, but that's the one thing that I. It's the one thing that I always remember to do. just because it bothers me so much. At the same time, like over time, it's bothered me kind of less. Like nowadays, it doesn't bother me. I've just gotten into the habit of shaving. So maybe I'll just grow one as a joke. I don't know. This is something that I've had for this is something that I've had for many years now. I think what was it about? Got this when I was like 3. So, yeah, I've had this for over a decade. Pretty incredible when you think about it. This was given to my parents by an actual Indian, an actual Native American, I should say. Um, this was given to them. It doesn't really have any spiritual properties. They just made a bunch of these and sold them. Pretty cool stuff. I hang it up there for good luck's sake, whatever that means. Uh, are you gonna work in retail or something? No, I'm most likely gonna be packaging stuff. It depends on which job they give you that week, though. Because the way that it works is that it's temporary work to get work experience, so you just come in and they give you maybe packaging something that day, moving boxes, cleaning something. It really depends. They give you all kinds of things. That's why I'm not excited about it. Oh, boy. Maybe uh, maybe I'll decorate the room with with fluorescent lights when I get back. So when I get back with a paycheck, I'll put red lights all over the room or purple lights, purple lighting, like some ContraPoints type stuff. I don't know. It could be interesting. It could be interesting to make videos that way because I remember someone, God forbid, I can't remember who it was, but someone told me, Star, you should put lights around your room to make the vlogs more interesting. And I thought, well, I want to be doing more camera angles anyway, I just don't have a tripod. Thought if I was doing more camera angles plus had more interesting lights as a setup, that would be able to spruce the videos up visually, essentially. I may end up doing that. But does anyone have anything else they want to ask? Because I may actually end the stream pretty soon because I feel like I'm running out of things to talk about. Oh boy. I don't actually remember why I started the stream. I think, I've just been really bored. I know I've had things to do, but I've been very lazy about it because okay, you're heading out? All right. Um but I it's been one of those feelings where I thought about titling this like or I should have titled this like the last day of freedom or whatever because the sort of boredom that I feel all the time from living in this house, I feel like I'm just going to feel by working as well. The only difference is that if I have the money, and I feel like I talk about this on literally every single live stream that I do. In almost all my videos, I talk about this now too. It's like I can't get away from it. Is that if I have the money and I make the money over time, have a source of income to be able to go to school, I can leave. I can go, and I can go somewhere more interesting that has more things to do, right? Somewhere I want to be. And so I'm replacing one bored place that I'm in for another boring place that's more productive and can actually get me out, and get me somewhere else. That's what I really that's what I've been hoping for. And I just have to keep getting up each day to be able to do it. Because I count the days, I count the days until I can. I think, every single day, when can I get out of here? When can I I don't know. Oh. Oh wow, 6 viewers all of a sudden. There was like four, and then all of a sudden it jumped up to six. But yeah, I'm probably gonna end the stream soon. So if anybody wants to ask anything like real fucking fast, just put it in the chat, and I can answer it. Because I always like getting the questions from people because um, usually it's stuff that I haven't thought of. Like usually, like the type of thing people would ask is just stuff that I wouldn't have thought about. I wouldn't have thought about talking about. But yeah, like I I just I think one thing I might end up doing is actually saving the money that I make from working, and then do I have a driver's license? No, I don't have a driver's license. I don't really see. I have an ID, so I have identification, but I don't have a driver's license. I don't really see a point in having a driver's license because, like, the places that I want to go to, I don't really have to drive to. Like, like going into work, like it's not even far away. Like, so uh, like pretty much all of the places that I can work at are pretty close to me. Like I live in a city, so it's not too bad. You can walk there, or if you really have to, you can get an Uber. It's not, not very expensive. So I don't want to drive because it feels like an unnecessary risk where everything that I would want to do or need to do, I can use public transit to get to. Um, and then when I leave the USA, I want to go somewhere where I can easily get access to public transit. Because having a car just costs so much money, and I don't want to have to pay, insurance and car payments and all this other stuff. It doesn't really seem like there's a point in having a driver's license for me personally. Um, do you think Digibro is right in his assessment of K-On? Yes, K-On is one of my favorite shows. I really really love K-On a lot. Um, I think he's 100% correct, like right on the money, in pretty much every possible way about the show. It's a fantastic show. Um, I know people from the warehouse I worked at that gave up their dreams after making some money from their work. It was so depressing. Yeah, that I don't really understand that kind of mindset because like maybe I think maybe for me, as someone who's experienced like really bad stuff or just like mental illness and things like that, when I look at that, I go, how? How can you just exist without wanting to do what makes you happy? Like, it seems really weird to me because the ideal should always be seeking to be in a better place than you were before, right? To always be seeking to do something that makes you feel good and puts you in a better state of mind, in a better life than you were before. More productivity, more happiness. Like that to me just makes sense. I don't know. It's really weird to me. It's really weird to me that people would just give up after making some money because like what's the point of that? Like you only live your life for so long. If you're going to be forced to live here, then why not make it worthwhile? Why not do something that you care about? I hardly ever drive. Yeah, I feel like I would hardly ever drive too because there's just nowhere like what am I gonna do? Drive all the way to Louisville? There's nothing there. Working full time takes away too much time from most people's lives to enjoy stuff. Theory of alienation. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. If you're working full time, then you literally don't have the time to come home and enjoy anything because you end up like either just not having the time or you're so tired from doing manual labor. Like a lot of people, they work jobs where they're constantly moving stuff, constantly picking stuff up. They strain their back, they strain their hips, their legs, and so forth. And when they get home, they just want to lay down. They don't want to do anything that they would find enjoyable. Maybe they smoke a little bit of weed or drink alcohol just to get to sleep. Like there's been a lot of people who I've known and people who my friends have known who the only way they could get to sleep at night in order to get up to work the next morning was just by getting drunk until they fell asleep. That's not really that healthy. Like, that doesn't sound like a happy way to live your life. Like, you should be able to have the free time to partake in the activities that you enjoy and care about and not be so stressed constantly, because financial insecurity is another thing. If you're constantly stressed from not having enough money, from not knowing how you're going to pay for certain things, and the work you do is terrible, and you don't have time to do anything you enjoy in the first place, and the only way you can just get to bed to wake up to do it all again in the next few hours is to do drugs, then, like, it's a really depressing kind of existence, because like, if you're working, the entire day, 7 days a week, 5 days a week, for a lot of people, they have to do seven. Um, and you only have those few hours just to regain your composure and to relax, and then you go to sleep just to wake up again and do it all over again, then I can only imagine how stressful and painful that would be to have to do on a consistent basis, because I've seen people in real life, spoken to people on the internet who experience that day-to-day grind constantly, and they explain to me what it's like, and it sounds really, it sounds really difficult to deal with. um, and so I'm gonna be I'm gonna end up being one of those people. But uh, I'm also gonna be ending up one of those people who's very young and gets student debt, because living off of living off of student debt to go to school, I feel like would at least be better than working all the time to save money. Like, because I looked up how much, how much 15,000, $10,000 loan costs, and yeah, interest rate, it can make the interest go super high, but that's like what is that, like 7 years to pay off? That's not that bad. You just have to not miss the payments. Um, so, yeah, like, the thing with a lot of people is that they end up getting $40,000, $50,000 loans that they have to pay off in decades and decades, and it causes a huge amount of insecurity. The actual career that I want to go into, you can make like $45,000 a year doing what I want to do. So, um, it's not a career that I wouldn't be able to pay off the loan with. So that's why I don't have very many qualms about taking out a loan, is because I know there's gonna be job security doing that, because it's out of any job, it's something that everyone needs. Uh, 24 hours a day. Average Americans worked commutes for 40 minutes. Multiply that by 2.8 hours of work, 8 hours of sleep, if healthy. Biological functions like eating and shitting will say that's another hour. That leaves you with just over 5 hours a day to live. Jeez. Uh, 16 hours a day at the warehouse I was at, I'd wake up, work, and sleep. Gee, oh my goodness. That's not taking into account second jobs, overtime, laying around depressed from work stress. Yeah, it's a big mess. It really is a big mess. Like, that's why people need security. Like, we produce enough food and resources to feed and house everyone, and actually produce less. We could produce less if our economy was rationally managed by computers. And so, uh, we could pollute the environment less, we could create less, and still provide for everybody based on the resources we produce, if we just operated outside of a mechanism like the market. You could give every single person a job, all of them, all of them a job, so they wouldn't have to worry about, being insecure in terms of work, and you can give them 1 month vacation. You could give them free healthcare. You could give them universal housing. You could give them significantly less work hours, but we just don't do it. And there's entire types of work that we don't even have to be doing. We can At this point, we can automate a lot of things, which would only make this process better. So, like, we have the resources to make the world vote Yang 2020. No, uh, you like we have the resources to make the world function better and to properly accommodate for the needs of all people. We just don't, and so that's the really unfortunate thing is that if you're gonna live in an unequal society in which the major centers of economic power and of political power are controlled by a very very small group of people, then you're naturally going to end up having the needs and the selfish desires of those people put at the forefront instead of the needs of all people. So it doesn't matter how much we produce. It doesn't matter how much we've advanced. It doesn't matter that worker productivity continues going up and up each year. More than it's ever been, it's been up. It doesn't matter because the system itself is rigged against you. And I look at someone like Yang and his entire platform is just dismantling all of the established welfare systems to give you a UBI that's going to make your rent go up, that's going to make utilities go up, and then the entire core of the problem is not even going to be fixed because it's just a neoliberal solution that looks like it's hopeful, but it's not going to actually fix the real. Okay, for some reason the stream got interrupted. I don't. Am I back? Okay, I'm back now. Um, but yeah, I think that's about the end here. Um, unless like anyone wants to ask anything else really fast. That's basically it for me. We got a surprising amount of mileage out of this live stream. Didn't expect us to go for this long. Okay, later. Yeah, I'll see you later, DZ Dog. It was nice having you here, as always. Yeah, I I'm gonna head out now. Thank you everyone for coming out to the live stream. Good luck at your job, boy. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm gonna need it. uh, yeah, I appreciate everyone for coming out. I'll see you later.